Ricky Martin just won in court in the restraining order against him from his own nephew. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, your #1 source for pop culture news in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So as you know, it feels like we've been covering this story for a long time, but it really hasn't been that long. Ricky Martin, when we last reported on this, was facing 50 years because of this sexual relationship that he allegedly had with his nephew. According to the restraining order, the nephew, at the time we didn't know it was the nephew making these complaints, said that there was a 7-month relationship, and when it ended, Ricky Martin was harassing the nephew because he did not want it to be over. Well, Ricky Martin came out multiple times and denied all of the accusations. In his last statement in regards to this story, Ricky Martin said this through his attorney, Marty Singer. He says, "Unfortunately, the person who made this claim is struggling with deep mental health challenges. Ricky Martin has, of course, never been and would never be involved in any kind of sexual or romantic relationship with his nephew." Well, now Ricky Martin has won major in this court case. So Ricky Martin via Zoom testified today, and now the nephew is dismissing the claims. So according to TMZ in their exclusive, they said Ricky Martin just won his case against his nephew, who accused him of having a sexual relationship and then harassing him afterward. And that's because the 21-year-old nephew withdrew his claim. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ the judge has dismissed the temporary restraining order that he issued a week ago. We're told Ricky showed up on Zoom. His legal team tells TMZ, just as we had anticipated, the temporary protection order was not extended by the court. The accuser confirmed to the court that his decision to dismiss the matter was his alone, without any outside influence or pressure. The team went on and said that the accuser confirmed he was satisfied with his legal representation in the matter. The request came from the accuser asking to dismiss the case. This was never anything more than a troubled individual making false allegations with absolutely nothing to substantiate them. We are glad that our client saw justice done and can now move forward with his life and his career. So as TMZ reported, the nephew had claimed that he and Ricky Martin had a 7-month sexual affair, and after it ended, Ricky began stalking and harassing him. Ricky strongly denied the allegation, saying he never had a sexual relationship with the man. The singer's legal team said the nephew suffers from mental health issues, as I just reported. So in the middle of preparing this video for you, Ricky Martin is speaking out on his social media in regards to the decision that was made in court today. So Ricky Martin says this: "Just as we had anticipated, the temporary protection order was not extended by the court. The accuser confirmed to the court that his decision to dismiss the matter was his alone, without any outside influence or pressure, and the accuser confirmed he was satisfied with his legal representation in the matter. The request came from the accuser asking to dismiss the case. This was never anything more than a troubled individual making false allegations with absolutely nothing to substantiate it." So this is coming from Ricky Martin's attorneys, all right? So Ricky Martin simply posts the Spanish and the English versions of this statement and captions it, "Truth prevails." Swipe right for the English. So the minute I saw Marty Singer involved in this case, if you've been following pop culture as long as I have, then you recognize that name. Marty Singer is pretty much the Olivia Pope when it comes to these illegal celebrity cases. He's been involved with Chris Brown and many, many others. So I'm not surprised that this has been dismissed. I'm not surprised that we're moving very quickly from this story. Do I believe the story? I don't know what to believe. However, I'm glad that we are able to follow up and give you a resolution to this story, but this is not over for Ricky Martin. Ricky Martin is also facing a lawsuit from his former manager. Just for a reminder for those that may have forgotten, his former manager has a lawsuit. So in legal documents obtained by TMZ, Rebecca Drucker says she originally represented Ricky Martin 2014 to 2018, but after a 2-year hiatus, he called her back into service on May of 2020 when his personal and professional life were in absolute turmoil. So a lot of us were connecting the dots and wondering, Was this personal turmoil had anything to do with the nephew? We don't know. We also have to point out when all of this happened, no one said anything besides Ricky Martin and his legal team. Understandably, this is a legal situation. But normally you would see a family, a wife, a husband, show a united front. We haven't really seen that from Ricky Martin's husband. In Drucker's lawsuit, she says that she did just that, getting his life and singing career in order, guiding him on recording contracts, touring, and sponsorship deals, and helping him make millions of dollars on his recent North American tour with Enrique Iglesias. His manager also claims his former manager also claims she protected him in 2020 when he was allegedly threatened with an unspecified career-ending allegation, bringing in top attorneys to handle the matter. Marty Singer. I don't know if that was the attorney at the time, but here we have a similar situation. And Ricky walked away unscathed. Drucker says that Ricky Martin stiffed her out of $3 million worth of commissions as she was jump-starting his career. She says that Ricky routinely manipulated and lied to her, ultimately forcing her to quit in April of this year. She said when she persisted in asking for her money, Martin began threatening her to stay silent and demanded that she sign a non-disclosure agreement. You didn't have her sign one before? And I know I've said this multiple times. I'm still always shocked by that statement, which she refused to do because she's smart. Drucker now is suing Ricky Martin for $3 million plus punitive damages. As I said to you before, I'm fair. I'm reporting on that this case has been dismissed. The accuser is now withdrawing their complaint. Does this mean that they are saying that what they said was not true? I don't know. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are withdrawing. They have made that decision. Was there a monetary under the table situation? Who knows? I have to paint the bigger picture for you guys because I know a lot of times you see things and you take them as they are, but I have seen a lot of things and heard a lot of different things in the celebrity world and pop culture news, and that's not necessarily always true. There are a lot of under table deals. I don't know what happened here in this situation. I know Ricky Martin's brother came out and defended Ricky Martin as well in this situation. We're going to continue to follow the manager situation because that legal situation is not over for Ricky Martin. It wouldn't shock me, though, that there will be some sort of settlement in that lawsuit. We're going to continue to follow this story, guys. As always, I want to know your reaction to this story. Are you happy about the news? I'm happy for Ricky Martin because this story just took a turn. When we found out the nephew was involved, I was just like, no, not involved. I don't want to report on this, but we have to. There's certain stories that we have to. I want to know your reaction to this. Do you believe what the manager has been saying? And shout out to my Puerto Rican sources. You guys were reaching out to me when we first did this story, and it was also featured in international news as well. A lot of you had a lot of really great information. What was the other information that this former manager is accusing Ricky Martin of, and that she helped him come out of that unscathed? Guys, let's continue this conversation below. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.